In the following presentation, we will discuss the sections model of program planning, including its benefits, shortcomings, and applications for its use. We are Team 5. Team 5 includes Greg, Sarah, Lori, Tonia, Sue, and Brenda. First of all, what is the sections model? Sections was developed at the University of British Columbia by Tony Bates and Gary Poole. The model is a framework of broad questions intended to guide decision-making in the planning process when selecting and using technology in teaching. We begin by explaining the sections acronym, including recent modifications. The original version of the model was developed in 1988 as Actions. In 2003, Bates and Poole updated Actions, replacing the A for Access with S for Students and E for Ease of Use. In 2015, the model was revised once again to acknowledge the significance of networking as well as the issues of security and privacy. Now, just give me a second here. There, that's better. The increasing diversity of students presents a challenge for teachers, requiring the consideration of a variety of teaching and learning strategies in order to meet the needs of all students. The opportunities afforded by technology are vast, but only effective if students have the skills to use them and can access them in an affordable and convenient manner. Advancements have made this easier, but it remains an important consideration. In order to leverage technology to address diversity in student learning, planners and teachers need to know the students and understand their similarities and differences. It is important that students and teachers don't have to spend a lot of time learning how to use a program or dealing with unreliable hardware or software tools, unless, of course, that is the field of study. Providing an orientation to basic skills prior to a program would reduce the likelihood of difficulties and uncertainty, which leads to frustration. According to Bates, having the necessary support is critical to the success of a program, and that without it, it is best to wait to embark on fully technology-mediated teaching. The issues of novelty and speed that were included in the original sections model are now considered within ease of use. Monetary expense is a key consideration. However, Bates points out that due to factors such as rapid development and increased availability of resources, there has actually been a decrease in the cost of technology over the past 10 years. Maintenance and overheads continue to contribute to the expense of using technology. The other key cost factor is time. Time required for development, delivery, and support all need to be considered. In the context of teaching and media selection, Bates refers to media as a broad term which includes but is not limited to technology. He argues that it includes text, graphics, audio, video, and computing. The selection of appropriate media for education needs to be driven by content, values, and beliefs about the learning. Thus, establishing clear learning objectives and understanding the needs of the students is an essential first step. Due to the variance of each program, course within a program, and cohort, the media and technology chosen will be dictated in part by these factors. In addition, the ideal choices will maximize all three types of interactivity noted on the left side of this slide, but will also take into account the characteristics of the technological tools or media chosen presented on the right. Inherent automatically pushes the learner to respond, designed will prompt interactivity, and learner-generated in which the user voluntarily interacts. Of course, organizational support at all levels is key to the success of a TML program, but it also includes structuring teaching activities that allow for the effective integration of technology. Technological and professional supports must be present, and the organization must have the infrastructure in place that will help guide it through technological changes, obstacles, and advancement. In the most recent version of the sections model, Bates changed N from novelty to networking. This takes into account the development and influence of social media. Bates suggests that a key question that needs to be asked is, how important is it to enable learners to network beyond a course with others such as subject specialists, professionals in the field, and relevant people in the community? Can the course or student learning benefit from such external connections? As previously mentioned, speed has now become security and privacy, as these have become critical issues in education in this digital age. Students and teachers need to have a place where they can engage in discussion that may include contentious issues without fear of their statements being made public. Creating a secure and controlled environment allows for this experience. In addition, with more storage and services being hosted online, students need to understand the issues and risks of privacy as they engage with the technology. Bates actively critiques his work. He compared his model with Patsula's Kascoymi model and found that although only 4 of the 7 core components of sections were comparable, Kascoymi contained an additional 3 that Bates found beneficial and would consider the international demographic of online learners, which sections doesn't. With international student enrollment on the rise, this may be a future consideration for revision by Bates. Based on our research, online documentation of institutions currently using the model is limited. UBC had the most prominent web presence and incorporated sections into its e-learning toolkit, as well as addressing one of the major barriers to adoption, a lack of training and support to its instructors and students. Developers at the University of Alberta used sections model in their analysis of Flash media and noted the benefits to analyzing media and technology early in the process allowed them to make decisions while prioritizing learning outcomes. Carleton University references the sections model on their open learning site. They introduced the model to a number of instructors but have not yet followed up to measure uptake. UBC's Centre for Teaching, Learning and Technology has developed a process for assessing technology using the sections model. It is comprised of 4 parts: define, assess, implement, and refine. Because of its emphasis on matching technology to the needs of students, teachers, and the organization as a whole, the sections model is a valuable framework for assessing the use of potential technology within a program. It can be a useful model for planners and teachers who are integrating technology for the first time. Despite its lack of international perspective, it's still a comprehensive approach for integrating technology because it considers not just the technology, but the entire educational context. Some final recommendations and thoughts on implementing TML using sections. Know your students. Who are they? Where are they coming from? Know the technology. Is it the best fit for your students, instructors, and organization? Know your organization. Are the necessary supports in place? Know why you chose the technology. Keep in mind the teaching, learning, and institutional objectives. Know the costs. This includes not only the monetary costs, but also the costs of time and effort. The sections model of program planning supports the integration of technology into learning by guiding planners through relevant issues and asking key questions. It's important to consider all factors in order to select the technology that best fits with the goals and needs of all stakeholders and to have the support required to make it work.